What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Chase. Today is Talent Tuesday, where we're going to be taking at least a little deeper dive in talent. I was over on uh, TikTok talking about the benefits of your talent. I am Sky Chase, your master business and coach trainer. Yes, I create programs and curriculums. I have a coaching academy called Premier Coaching and Consulting. I write books, I do workshops. I've been doing this for over 20 years. Like most of you, I started out doing it on my job, and then I decided to um, identify my talent and begin to hone my skills, monetize it, and then sell it, bring it to the marketplace and sell it. So it brings me great honor to be able to come here. Talking about talent is probably my favorite thing to do in the world because people always say the saying goes, it takes money to make money. You already have money. Remember, I told you, you are the money, you are the value because the money is on the inside of you. So today I want to talk about talent. So many people talk about, I don't know what my talents are. I don't know what my gifts are. And as I was sharing with the TikTok audience, when you don't know your gifts and talents, you don't have direction. Your gifts and your talents, they bring order to your life. They bring order, they bring clarity, they bring opportunities. Your talents cause you to be a money magnet. And I am a absolute living witness to that. So your talent is also currency. What I want you to understand, and I will probably say this so many times because I really want you all to understand that everybody has at least one talent, at least one. And so when I began to study talents, I think I started studying it probably about maybe for the last 10 years or so. I started to study talent. I started to study it in a monetary way. And what I found was every talent, at least one talent, is worth $1 million. That's why everybody's like, I want to be a millionaire. I want to be a millionaire because on the inside of you, on the inside of you is laying dormant $1 million. But you don't know how to go on the inside of you and get it out. And that's what we're going to talk about today. I shared with you how I am the talent revelator, the gift activator. I discovered this gift that I have when my children were young. And I discovered what my gifts and my talents were. I thought, well, I need to know what their gifts and talents are. And so I began to pray and seek God to find out what their gifts and talents were. So all of my children have known from an early age their gifts and talents. And it's very important for you to know as soon as possible because it takes so long to develop your talent. Now, your gift is more inborn, it's innate. Both of them are inborn, but your talent is more like you have to work at it. So I'm a gifted writer. My talent, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but my talent, I have to work at it. I have to work on it. And some people are talented, talented singers, and some people are gifted singers. I always use Whitney Houston. Whitney was gifted, but she treated her gift as if it was a talent. So she worked on it. She constantly made herself better and better and better. And I think that for your talent, it's going to take time. I always also use Oprah. The earlier you found out what your talent is, because your talent is your wealth. That's your money. But the reason why people get tripped up is because it's in raw form. So they think that the actual money is the thing that you're supposed to chase. No, once you begin to tap into your talent, that's when you're gonna start making money. You just have to learn how to harvest it. And you have to know how what it is. It is very cold in this studio. So every time I come on here, she's like, she always drinking tea. Yes, because it's very cold in here. It's very cold in the studio. And I always sip on my tea. Plus, I love tea. So talent is okay. If I put that there, you won't be able to see me. So I'll just read it for you. Talent is a currency. Remember, I said money is a currency yesterday on money moving money Monday. Talent is a currency. Money moves towards what? Solutions, skill, influence, and emotion. And talent produces all four. Oh my God. That is so amazing that your talent and your money, they work hand in hand. So it's like money is attracted to your talent. So that automatically makes you a money magnet. But if you don't know what your talent is, if your talent is buried or if it's laying dormant on the inside of you, you're just walking around with $1 million on the inside of you. So it's like you're a vault, you're a bank, and your talent is your money. But because you have to work at it, and we've been so conditioned to go to a job, your job conditions you, and your job also eats away your faith. Because remember, yesterday I said it takes a lot of faith to do this. It takes a lot of courage, to do this. And because it doesn't take any faith for you to go to work for somebody to tell you what to do. They give you your duties when you first started working, they give you your duties, they tell you what to do. They tell you what time to come to work, what time to leave, what to wear, when to eat, when to come back, when to go on vacation. You don't have any freedom. See, when you begin to operate in your talent and begin to move in the currency of your talent, you are free, you're liberated. And that's one of my missions, is to erase, eradicate, and annihilate poverty, first in your mind and then in your wallet. And to lead you, you have to be led, into prosperity. And so when you cease chasing it, when you go to a job, it conditions you to chase money. It conditions you that you're going to have to work either way. So if you're going to have to work, you might as well work doing what it is that you were put on the planet to do, and get paid more. I know people that get paid six figures a month. Okay. And the sky is the limit. However much time you put into it, that's what you get out of it. So money moves towards solutions. It moves towards skill. It moves towards influence and emotion. And talent produces all four. That is a beautiful thing. So the equation, because I always operate in an equation, is your talent, value, demand, monetization, and then wealth. So first, you have to identify your talent. So I put an assessment. I'm going to upload an assessment to this channel so that you can start to begin to look and see the things that you're really good at. You can talk to your parents, your friends, your teachers. A lot of times people will see your talent and your gift before you will. They'll know. They already know what you're gifted and you're talented at. And I know when I started my business, I asked the people that knew me a long time, and they were like, "You always seem to know the answer. You always seem to know, solutions." And so I'm really good at problem solving. I've always been good at problem solving because growing up, when you grow up in the hood, you have a lot of problems. So growing up in the hood, to me, that was my boot camp. So you first have to identify what your talent is, and then you got to take your talent and you turn it into a skill. You have to find out what skills are connected to my talent. So say if you are a singer, what skills do you have to learn? Because the Whitneys and Gladyses and Arethas of the world, they make it look really easy. They really do, but it is a lot of work. My daughter, she's a singer. And when I used to take her to her vocal coach, it is a lot of work to be able to control your voice and to get your voice to do what it is you wanted to do. I know sometimes I wake up in the morning and I swear it's a frog in my throat. I swear it's a frog in my throat. And so I really know that it is to your utmost advantage to be able to find what your talent is. And you need to take the time to do it because your talent is your currency. One talent, one is worth $1 million at a minimum. And one thing that I find, the more I work in my talents, the more talents come, more increase. I started out writing. Writing opened the door for coaching. Coaching opened up the door for me to be able to sell the programs that I've been creating since 1996. And it has opened up so many doors and so many opportunities. And so now, I'm kind of putting things together intentionally. So I'm targeting certain, areas and people that I want to work with because I have a skill that people, that's really in high demand that people will pay for. So you have to turn your talent into a skill, and then you have to put a price on it. You have to put a price on it. See, knowing your worth is not about really knowing your worth. It's about value. No one can ever pay you your worth because you're priceless. But because your worth is priceless, you can put price on things. So you have to monetize it. So you have to know how much each talent is worth. How much is each skill worth? And you're gonna have to do some research. You're going to have to do some research. How much? I'm a writer. How much do writers get paid? How much do people that I want to write scripts, I want to write movies, how much do they get paid? What skills do I need to learn? Do I need to take some classes? Do I need to go and take class? Yes, I do. Do I need to go take some classes? I have to invest in myself in order for me to be able to produce at the top of my skill. I think it's amazing to have a gift or talent to be a singer and make millions of dollars. Like, to me, that is amazing because people that sing, they move emotion. They are emotion. They know how to translate emotion and make you feel what it is that they're saying. And that is a great talent to have. And look at the people that do it and work on it. Um, they make millions and millions and millions of dollars, and then you get license, you get royalties, and then if you get into producing, and then if you get into songwriting, royalties come along with that. Look at Candy Burris. She's still collecting royalties from when she wrote Bills, 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 and Scrubs and all these things before Beyonce even blew up and became who she is today. And so it's the same thing for you. It's no different for you. You have those same $1 million talents on the inside of you, laying dormant, that you have not even begin. You just be thinking that you don't have a talent when you really do. And so you have to now price it. You have to then sell it. So you have to put a price on it, and then you have to sell it. So 4 ways, we're going to talk about 4 ways to convert your talent, solving a problem. So a singer solves the problem of entertainment. And the reason I use singers is because they're so popular. You say Jennifer Hudson's, you know who that is, and all the popular people and the rappers and everything. So it's really, a common thing. But they're all millionaires off of just one talent. Just one talent. One talent split in 4 or 5 different ways. That's how you diversify your talent. It's not more so a stream, it's more so of a diversification. So you take that one talent and you diversify it. So me, I'm a writer. So I write books. That's one way that I can have money coming in. I write programs. That's another way that I can have money coming in. I create systems and processes. So many different ways that I could take that one talent and diversify it and do so many different things with it. And I write poetry and I write songs as well. And I need to start learning how to write some hit songs. That's what I need to do. And see, that's what I mean. So I'm a writer. I will find out, what skills do I need? What kind of writing classes do I need to take to be able to, hone my skills better as a writer so I could be able to operate in different arenas. So A singer solves a problem with entertainment, mood, elevation, and they make those emotional connections that it's nothing like a beautiful song that will move you in the time of maybe sadness, and you play a song and it moves you to a place of joy and a place of happiness. That's a gift. That is a gift to be able to move people and change people's lives or put things on people's minds. You have some rappers like Common, who's a conscious rapper. He sings about what's going on in the world, today, to make people aware of certain issues that's happening. So your talent comes along with great influence, and money is attracted to that. So it was those four things: that talent is a currency, and money moves toward those four things: solutions, skill, influence, and emotion. And so a talent attracts attention, and attention, what does attention attract? It attracts what does attention attract? So your attention attracts traffic, and traffic attracts what? Opportunity. And opportunity equals what? It equals income. I have an opportunity right now to do something, in the business arena that I'm going to take advantage of. Opportunity just opened up, and opportunities, they open up all the time. They open up all the time, and you have to be able to be ready when those opportunities avail themselves. But if you never take the time to find out what and you just want to keep working on a job, and as you can see, the economy is so unstable, people are losing their jobs. You're going to have to figure out other ways to make money, just besides trading time for money. um, your talent, also, the influence, is the new income. Like attention is the new currency. So brands, corporations and communities, they pay for influence. They pay for that, for you to be able to influence it, people to be able to buy their products. They pay big money for that. And your talent automatically brings you that influence. So let's look at I wanted to just kind of talk about briefly, some of the top, just some of the talents that we hear about all the time, because your talent is also a seed. So you have to monetize it. You have to have a strategy to monetize it and to make it grow. So we talked about the singer who has the ability to move you with emotion, has the ability to influence you. Nothing influences you like music. You ever hear a song and don't like the song, but because they play the song on the radio so much, you end up being one of your favorite songs. You didn't even like the song when it first came out. Why? Because it's able to influence you, it's able to move you. And that is important, in this culture. And people pay a lot of money for that. If you're a speaker, speaking is one of the things that people don't really like to do. They do not like speaking, but speaking and storytelling pay a lot of money. And so, if you're a speaker, and you begin to find out the skills that's attached to speaking, and you begin to hone those skills, because basically people don't like speaking because they have not, practiced. You think those people just get up and start speaking? No, they worked on it. You have to work on your talent. You have to work on your craft. Your speaking and storytelling, you hear that in the media all the time. Storytelling, tell your story. I have a program right now that I'm producing, where I'm looking for people to come and to tell their story. Storytelling is very powerful. There's the power to transform people's lives. So storytelling is also a talent. I talked about writing and the ways that you could diversify, your writing. You can write scripts, you can write songs. They pay a lot of money for songwriting. And you can get royalties every time that song is played. Sometimes they take those songs and they use them in commercials, and they use them in a lot of different ways. Every time they play your song, you're going to get money from it. So it's very important for you to stop saying that, oh, I don't have any money. Yes, you do. You have money laying dormant on the inside of you. And it has to be stirred up, and you have to begin to find out what skills you need to work. What classes you need to take in order for you to begin to operate and what's naturally yours. Was naturally yours. I'm going to be talking about sales. I'm going to be talking about, actually, I created a whole program around sales. I'm kind of repurposing or rebranding or redefining sales because people have such a negative connotation when it comes to sales. It's a very, people don't like to be sold, but you sell all the time. You sell if you're when you went on a job interview, you were selling. If you're in a relationship, you meet somebody for the first time and you go out on a date, you're selling. You're selling. And so you have to recognize when you're operating in those skills, but if you never know what skills are connected to your particular talent, you won't ever recognize it. Teaching, training. I'm a teacher, I'm a trainer. I love training people to do the things that they were called to do. I love training in the area of business. I think that in order for us to get ahead in the culture, we have to begin to do things in the right way. I wrote a book a few years ago. I dedicated it to my grandmother. It's a business etiquette book because what is etiquette? Etiquette is just doing things the right way. It's a protocol to everything. It's a protocol to everything. And it would behoove you to find out excuse me, what that protocol is. And so um, I want you to just begin to think about what your talents are. I want you to begin to interview people. I want you to begin to ask your questions to your family, questions to your teachers, your professors. And I want you to kind of sit down and really think about it because that is simply how you're going to make money. And it's the reason why you don't have any. You're not broke because you're poor, because you're not poor. You have $1 million sitting on the inside of you. So you are definitely not poor. You just don't know how to pull it out of you. So I wanted to kind of come here and, talk about that, give you something to really think about. I'm probably going to do a part two to this because I really want to kind of dig deeper into it. I want to go into pricing, your skills that's attached to every talent, and pricing it, how to monetize it, what platforms to put it on, and all of those things. So I'll be back probably next Tuesday. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about Winning Wednesday. We should not be just winning for a season. We should be winning in every single thing that we do. Every single thing that we do, we should be looking to win every single time. Okay, every single time. So we're going to be talking about that tomorrow. So we're going to do a part two. We're going to continue this also. I'm going to talk, go into a little bit deeper next Tuesday. We're going to talk a little bit more about your talent. So I will see you guys on next Tuesday. Thank you so much.